Hey, what is up, spiritual hooligan? Taking action is actually an illusion when it comes to achieving your goals. And I know that sounds wacky, but I want you to stick with me here. There's actually something else going on. You're going to take action to achieve your goals. You're going to take action. But your action is being influenced by something else. And if you don't take care of the something else, then you'll always feel like I'm trying to take action. I'm trying to go forward. I'm trying to make things happen, but it's not really working for me. How come I don't go all the way? We're going to talk about that today from an enlightened perspective. My name is Matthew Ferry, and I am bringing you your daily enlightenment. It's your moment to pause, to slow down, to get connected to enlightened perspectives. I want to help you to quiet your mind and restore your peace. I want to talk to you today about the illusion of taking action to achieve your goals. And I'm going to propose to you that the actions that you are taking are not necessarily driving you to achieve the goals that you have set for yourself. And not because those actions aren't good actions, but because there's something else underneath that is driving everything. And I'm going to say it in this way, that no matter how much action you take, who you're being, the context that you have about yourself and about life determines the results that you want to take. So I want to start by saying this. Taking action, this is an illusion. This is happening naturally. You're automatically taking action. The decisions that you say you're making, you're not making those decisions. Those decisions are the natural result of the context that you are holding. Now, at first, this might sound disconcerting, but as we continue in this conversation, you'll start to see that enlightened prosperity, enlightenment, knowing that all is well, prosperity, doing well, enlightened prosperity creates a completely different kind of experience, one that you have been really seeking your entire life without really being conscious of it. You want to know that all is well and you want to do well. Well, my friend, in order to have that happen, you have to let go of survival. You have to let go of the survival perspectives, and you have to start connecting with the enlightened perspectives. And the enlightened perspective is that all action is an expression of perspective. And perspective really is context. Now, as part of the process of the rapid enlightenment process, part of the process of the rapid enlightenment process. You like that? Part of the process of the rapid enlightenment process is recontextualization. And what we're doing today is we're recontextualizing action, and we're saying that action is an expression of context or who you're being. So you don't need to get motivated to do things to take action or make things happen. You don't need to be. Doing is a function of your perspective, of your context. And I'm going to say it in this way, and I think I learned this word from going and doing Landmark Education. They do terrific work over there if you haven't done any of their work. Doing is a function of who you're being. Now, being, what is that? Being is your essential nature. It's your point of view. It's your perspective. And it creates a habitual way of responding to the world. And we call that habitual way of responding to the world your personality. So if you look at it from an enlightened framework, what's happening is your personality, I'm just going to show you, this is a chart in my book, okay? So your personality is really an expression of the hidden motives to survive and all of the karmic information. Karmic information is even below the hidden motives. Karmic information is nothing more than the memory of the soul. And those things are the information stream that is creating this human experience. And that information stream is being translated into a set of preferences and predilections and ways of operating, and we call that our personality. If you haven't noticed, your personality is something you came in with, and it contains within it contextual information that has you be a certain way, a certain kind of person. And I'm going to propose that there's old information in there that's about survival that isn't serving you, and that the work that we're doing together is about releasing, and I'll also say it's not just releasing, it's also correcting the imbalance of that old information. And let's say all the survival stuff, the fears, the doubts, the uncertainty, all of that stuff is an imbalance because you're in the safest time you've ever been in your entire life. The things that you're concerned with are about you optimizing your inner state. That is not a survival situation. That is a thriving situation. So anything that is connected to this idea of being in a fearful, negative, afraid state is going to actually create an imbalance in what's happening. You're out of balance, and we want to get you balanced. What is balanced for you? Knowing that all is well and doing well. So if you're afraid, if you have fear, you're out of balance. And you're going to take actions that are fearful. And for example, a fearful action might actually be immobilized, like you don't do anything, you go hide. Or maybe you get upset, or you're stressed, or you're frustrated, or you're pushing, forcing. Even strategizing most of the time is a survival imbalance. And who you're being, your essential nature, the context with which you're holding things in, is if you are in a strategy mode, and not a strategy mode from thriving standpoint, but strategy mode because we have to, because we should, we need to. If we're in that state, then you're going to create malfunction everywhere for yourself. It's going to make you feel stuck, and you're going to be more upset, and it's just going to create this loop. If you're being joyful, for example, you're going to take actions that'll bring more joy. So think about it like this. If your essential nature, if you just do some examination, you realize, I want to look good. I want to be appreciated. I want to be understood. I want people to acknowledge me. I want to feel like I'm a part of the group. I want to feel successful. All of those things that I just described, survival states of being. If you are, I want to be at peace. I want to have joy. I want to feel certainty and love. I want to appreciate and accept, right? Then those are thriving ways of being. So if you're in this joyful state, if you're wanting to be being, well, you're going to, being joyful, you'll find that your actions actually give you more joy. You feel more connected, loving, excited, attractive, allowing, receiving, empowering. Fear, survival consciousness, mobilizes force. Fear mobilizes force. My mentor, Dr. Hawkins, his sort of definitive work was Power versus Force. And that really got me thinking in a whole new way. If you haven't read that book, 100% read it. It's a little heady. Actually, everything that Dr. Hawkins does is heady. I feel like my objective is to translate his crazy, heady stuff and bring it down into like day-to-day, everyday living. But fear mobilizes force. And the dictionary defines force as power made operative against resistance. Power made operative against resistance, subset exertion. Now, I don't know about you, but I suspect that there's a lot of stuff in your life where you really feel like you have to force it. That you have to push, you have to exert energy to make things happen. And I will tell you right now that that is an illusion. That there is nothing actually that you are resisting or forcing against. The joke, I'm going to say it like this. The joke is really on you. The resistance that you're pushing against doesn't even exist in the real world. The world's just doing its thing. You're resisting your interpretation. You're resisting what's inside of you. You're pushing against your own definitions. Being is your essential nature. The resistance that you are experiencing is your state of being. It's in you. It's the perspective that you have about the situation. So if you have an upset, or if you feel like, God, why is it not working? Or what's wrong with me? Or whatever. This is a projection that you have about the future. It's a projection that you have about the state of affairs and what the state of affairs means in the future. So who you're being in this moment is always an aspect of the future. The perspective that you have is always an aspect of the future that you see coming down the road. So if you're experiencing negativity now, and you're resisting it, and you're pushing, and you're trying to force through it, and I'm going to make this happen, and why isn't it working, and how are we going to do this? If you're in that state, it's because you're present to a negative future, which is an expression of how you're interpreting this moment. You look at the present, you access the past. And when I say you access the past, I don't mean you access just the past in this lifetime. I mean you access the pre-existing information that is in your soul about all the times you've ever lived, and probably some of the not even probably actually, the pre-existing survival information and how you use or activate survival information to get what you want. So you look at this present moment. I'm getting heady, okay? But check it out. Stick with me here. You have this experience of this present moment. And if you're not conscious and aware, what happens is the information is coming in to the five senses. The consciousness is mixing with the previous information from past lifetimes. From this lifetime all the way back, my friend. Then it's activating hidden motives to survive. Greed. Is greed the right way to behave right now? Do I need to, for example, feel like there's not enough and go into I need to get it, I need to grab it while I can? Is pride the right way to activate right now? Look at me, I'm amazing, I deserve it, I am a powerful person and I should have the things that I want. Affirmation is almost always an expression of pride. Maybe I need to go into traitor. Now, I'm saying all of these things like you're actually making a decision. Give me a break. You're not making a decision. This stuff is autopilot. And if you aren't present to it, and if you don't take the time to correct the imbalances in your consciousness, forget about it. You are going to be a autopilot being. So happiness. Let's switch, okay? I want to switch back. Happiness, joy, and peace mobilizes power. So if fear and concern and upset and negativity mobilizes force, happiness, joy, and peace mobilizes power. Now, power is defined as the ability or capacity to perform or act effectively. That's really important. This is an expression of integrity. The ability or capacity to perform or act effectively. When you know that what you want is coming, you feel happy, certain, and excited. When you know or you assume that what you want isn't coming, you feel angry and upset. You activate the hidden motives. When you're happy, you naturally do what it takes to achieve your goals and dreams. When you're happy, you're just like, well, I'm going to do that thing. And you just start taking action. When it feels effortless, you know that you are using power and that you are empowered. So I want to stop us here. And in our next video, we're going to talk about and go through a process of figuring out who are you being right now and how do we shift who you're being such that you can start to experience a different kind of action. But what I want to know right now is, what is this making you think? What are you seeing for yourself in this? Will you leave me a comment on that? I want to hear from you. I want to interact with you. I want to know what's going on with you. Will you like this video? Will you share it with your fellow spiritual hooligans who you think it'll make a difference for? Please do that. Leave me a comment. Subscribe to my channel. I put out a new daily enlightenment every single day. And you can join us over in the Spiritual Hooligans Facebook group. We all have a great conversation going on over there. And it's just a bunch of people like you and I who are talking about this kind of stuff. My name is Matthew Ferry, and I am the author of Quiet Mind, Epic Life. If you haven't got that book, 100% click on the link there and you can get my new book. Thank you so much for tuning into this Daily Enlightenment. I'll talk to you tomorrow.